have you ever been through any similar situation? You accepted a position, and then a little bit later, you end up being part of a layoff. The company had some changes, and now they are out of the position. So I was like, oh my god! During that short month that I wasn't working, I got so much done, learned so much, networked and marketed myself to land to where I am today. All right. If you can see ahead of time that things could go awry and stuff like that, then you need to be better prepared, right? Better prepared, right? So I'm just gonna leave you with that. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how I avoided a catastrophe. What? Yes. What type of catastrophe am I talking about? So, last year, when I was looking for another position in QA, right? It was, I'm going to break down the whole story to you, but I, after getting a job offer, then another company and person that I actually knew, they let's get into it, right? I'll just we'll lay down the whole story and then we'll talk about it, right? So that's what happened. So this is the story, right? Let's go back down memory lane, all right? So the company that I was at before my current company, they pretty much shut down, right? They sold the company, and pretty much everyone who was working there got let go. It wasn't necessarily a layoff. They just pretty much were closing the doors. They gave us until the end of December, and then we're out, right? So in that process, someone that used to work at the company, right before, so at the company there was a split, and there was half of the company was sold to another company, and all that, right? So somebody that I used to work with, they contacted me and they said, "Hey, I heard that that the company is closing down, and we're looking for I'm looking for someone to fill a position here at my company, and I would like to see if you could fill that role." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm open to it. Not a problem." They worked with me before. They know how I work and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm open to it because hey, if I'm about to be unemployed, I'm open to anything. So they said the only problem is, right, and so that first red flag, right? The only problem is the position isn't currently open right now, but it should be open in January. I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, not a problem with me. Just let me know. Keep me posted. I'm not really worried. I know that with my skills, my work ethic, with the way I market myself, I can easily navigate and pivot and find something, right? But I'm like, hey, I have no problem going, talking to you and your company. Just let me know, right? Just let me know. And that's one of the things that's important about having leverage. When you build yourself up, you're not really worried when these things happen. Like, yeah, it sucks to be laid off. It sucks to lose that consistency, but it also pushes you to new limits, to new heights. Because during that short month that I wasn't working, I got so much done, learned so much, networked and marketed myself to land to where I am today. All right. But with that being said, let's continue with the story. Okay. So January comes around, and guess what? Guess what? I get contacted and said, so this person contacted me and said, so the position is open. However, right, and whenever there's a however, the problem is that they want to hire locally, and I'm like, all right, well, cool. If they change their mind, let me know. It's like, you wouldn't be open to moving, would you? I'm like, not really, not really open to moving. Then it says, okay, well, if we can't fill the position, then we'll explore having it remote. I'm like, all right, cool. Just let me know. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, applying and stuff like that. And they said, hey, but before you accept any position, just let me know. All right, let me know. I'm like, all right, cool. I know you personally. I'll honor that. I'll let you know what's going on. Okay. So to keep moving along, so I'm going through a bunch of different interviews with different companies and stuff like that. And one company that we're continually going through the process, and different stages, and and that's the company that I work for today. So as we go through, then it was they said, okay, hey, I want to have you speak to my manager, my boss, and it's not like an interview, but it's an informal conversation to see where you're at and stuff like that. But it's not an interview. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll talk to anybody. I'm not doing anything, right? I'll talk to anybody. So we have this long conversation, and it was a bit awkward. I'm gonna say it was a bit awkward, but like me, I'll talk to anybody. Like I'm personable and stuff like that. So we have this conversation, and it's like okay, and it ends with like, oh, there's no promises. Like we're looking for someone locally. You wouldn't be interested in moving. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in moving. Right? I am what I am, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But then it's like, okay, there's a bunch of travel which is associated with it and stuff like that. And it's like, could you travel every 2 weeks? I'm like, I don't, look, if I had no other options, then sure, I'll do what I have to do. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my family. But like, I'm not like I'm not looking to travel every 2 weeks, right? But let's keep going. So as I'm going through my other interview processes, a lot of them along the way, some of them would be like hybrid, others are fully remote, and we're going along the way, right? So I finally get to the end of one of my interview processes, and it was about maybe 3 weeks, a 3 week process, right? Really good, really smooth. I really enjoyed the process. That some people they want these interviews to happen like, oh, just one interview, one and done, and now we're good to go. I actually like the longer process interviews because you get to learn more about the company, get to learn more about different people in the company. They get to learn about you, and you see like, how does this company operate? Would I be a good fit there? And would they be a good fit in my life, right? So I finally get the offer from the company, and I contact the person that had contacted me initially, and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know that I got an offer from this. Oh, actually, wait, rewind. So this is what happened, right? This is what happened. The day that I'm getting the offer from my current company, I because I knew the offer was coming. I just finished like the last round of interviews and everything like that. Talked to the recruiter, and I get a text message from the person I was talking to, and they said, "Oh, the company just opened the position to be remote, and there's going to be a little bit of travel, but this is the situation and stuff like that." And the offer letter had not come in yet. So until you get the offer letter come in and you sign and everything, nothing is finalized, right? So I said okay, right? And then once the offer letter comes in the morning, I'm like, hey, I got this offer that came in. You told me to let you know. So this is the situation. I'm going to accept it because here's the thing. I I didn't really like how the process was being strung along on this with this. It's like nothing official, and we want all of this. And I'm like, look, I'm not really dependent on this company. I'm actually like trying to help you out for the most part, right? You guys have a need that I'm trying to fill, but you guys want me to bend over backwards to be part of your company, which it's like it's not really for me, right? I have options, and that's a key thing in your life. You always have to give yourself options. You don't want to be like, oh, like desperate, and this is my only situation, this is my only option, and now you end up like making a bad decision, right? So let's fast forward along, right? So now, I said, okay, I'm going to accept this position, and they said, okay, well, I spoke to, and now they're getting desperate, and it's like, okay, I spoke to the HR, and we want to make you an offer, by Monday and stuff. And so this is Friday. We want to make you an offer by Monday, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go with this company, which I had already like spoken to a lot of people at the company, see who I'd be working with. The recruiter was very nice, and every day we help them out all the time. We speak back and forth and everything like that. Really enjoyed the manager that I'd be working for. Like, it was just the director that I'd be working for. Great all around, right? So I was like, mm, I appreciate the process and the care and the consideration that the company that made me the offer is going with. And now because I have I have options, I have an opportunity. Now it's like, oh, let's fast track everything, and we can give you more money and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's also so much more headache that I'd have to deal with, and then the type of industry that they're in versus the type of industry that I'm in now. It's just so much hassle that seemed like it was going to go into it. And it's a small company, and they're trying to figure things out, and I don't know, right? But okay. So now let's fast forward almost a year later. And now the person who was trying to get me into the company reaches out to me and they're like, hey, the company had some changes and now they are out of the position. So I was like, oh my God, if if I didn't like if I didn't go with what I felt in my gut, right, was the right decision for me, I would have been in major trouble because now I would be in the same position that I was last year trying to figure something out. I mean, does because that person got laid off doesn't mean that I was gonna get laid off? Not necessarily, but that's just turmoil for me, right? Like the person that brought you in a year later, they are out because of some restructuring and stuff like that, and now they're asking you, hey, if you know any opportunities, can you help me out? Which of course I help anybody out, right? But it's like you need to have a wide lens, right? It's not always about the money and stuff like that. It's all right when you need to evaluate the company, evaluate what's going on, and is that going to be the right thing for you to do? Because a lot of times we make these decisions only on a singular process, or because we're desperate, we have no other options. You always have to give yourself options. Put yourself in the best position to win. I always tell you that. I always preach that, right? Put yourself in the best position to win. How do you put yourself in the best position to win? You need to add value every single place that you go. Show the value that you're going to deliver. Boom, 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 right? And never make the decision off a singular thing, off desperation. Because if I was to like, okay, I know this person and this is the situation, and I'm gonna go with that because after you get offered, because now if I had rejected the offer from the one that I accepted, and now I'm in the situation I have to go back. Now it could have been a lot worse for me, and then I have to like start the process all over again. But now I've been at my current company for over a year. Things are going great. We are doing amazing work, and I am learning so much. And I'll say this, right? I'm going to give a big credit to my current company that is the reason that I was able to. That's what motivated me to start learning about all these new technologies, about Terraform, about like the video processing and stuff like that. And I honestly believe if I was to if I had made a rash decision like, I can get a little bit more money, right? Then I wouldn't have necessarily expanded my learnings as much as I did this past year, because given the freedom that I have between like the times that I work and stuff like that, and the type of work that we do, it's like I was mentioning in the other videos, like it's just a circular motion that the things that I'm learning at work help me to build myself outside of work, and the things that I'm learning outside of work help me to build myself inside of work. And I might have not had that opportunity. I could always create that opportunity, but it might have been a lot more harder like to accomplish. And that's why it's like you have to have a more wide lens view instead of a straight focused view of like, all right, this is the offer, and because it's this, now I'm going to make this decision, and then a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, it wasn't the best decision for you, and now you're scrambling, you're backtracking, trying to figure it out. So just wanted to share that story. It almost turned into a horror story, but I ended up being victorious in the end, right? So think about that. Consider that whenever you're making decisions, you need to have a holistic perspective on it, and not just short-sighted on one particular thing. If you're trying to get into an industry, then that's a little different, because you might have to take whatever opportunity comes your way. But as you build up your career, as you build options, you need to exercise your options and make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to win. You have to put yourself in the best position to win. Like I said the other day, you need to continuously add value to the greater good of the team and everything like that. But you always need to see, okay, what's going to put me in the best position to win? And if it's going to put you if you can see ahead of time that things could go awry and stuff like that, then you need to be better prepared, right? Better prepared, right? So I'm just going to leave you with that. And let me know what you think. I am desperate. Desperate. I am anxious to know what you think about this story, how it could have went the wrong way, but it ended up in a very good position for me. And have you ever been through any similar situation? You accepted a position, and then a little bit later you end up being part of a layoff and stuff like that, or did you make a decision that actually worked out very well for you? All right. So let me know what you think. If you have not done so yet, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live. And if you need access to additional content as well as one-on-one coaching, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev, where you can sign up and we can get to work together. All right. But on that note, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.
Enigmatic Joker.